What's up, everybody, and welcome to my TNA IMPACT Wrestling review, which maybe I believe is the last UK show, and if it is really true, the final match in Kurt Angle's TNA career, and we don't know how long. Probably his last match in his career, though, for a while, I guess. Then, as we kicked off with Dixie Carter calling Kurt Angle probably the best wrestler in the history of our sport today. Pretty much, she introduced Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle made his entrance. Some of the TNA roster was around the ring as Drew Galloway came in the ring and talking to Kurt Angle like, him being a master class now, as he is. He pretty much said that, talking about Kurt Angle, putting him over, doing a lot, making it known. Look. Yeah, pretty much talking about him and everything. Galloway, pretty much said what you've done for this company. As Kurt Angle, he thanked Dixie and thanked TNA. Becoming a better wrestler, a better husband, a better father. He says, and he's probably one of the most luckiest men on the planet right now. As Bobby Lashley came out, thanking Kurt Angle for the amazing experience and matches he has done with him, and being able to wrestle Kurt Angle one more time tonight. But it's going to be a rough day, but, the arena's going to see Kurt Angle's last match, but Lashley said it's going to be an honor, to wrestle the man who got him into this business. And he said, thank you to Kurt Angle. So Lashley said, pretty much looking at Kurt Angle, says, you're just not ready to wrestle me, he says. As soon as Lashley dropped the mic and left, Kurt Angle looked on him. Pretty much was a good opening. Still keeping his feud going, even though this is probably Kurt Angle's last matches. Bobby Lashley flipped it from thanking him to kind of go into that heel mode. Then Eric Young versus Jimmy Havoc versus Will Ospreay, which is a very great wrestler, by the way, versus Big Damo versus Bram in a King of the Mountain match, which really kind of, who cared about the King of the Mountain match, what they did. They kind of wasted Will Ospreay there. It's like whatever. Eric Young retained, so it wasn't a lot to say. Mike Bennett and Maria pretty much delivered a promo. Thought Angle cheap shot at him, and that he will be named he should be named the number one contender for the TNA World Championship. Pretty much Bennett, he said he's going to complete his mission of saving this company in all of professional wrestling, he says. And he called Dixie out here to make this miracle happen. But Drew Galloway came out here then, talking about the Feaster fired briefcase. As pretty much Bennett said, you won this out of a game show, he says. But pretty much he called Bennett, you knew a little bit more fighting and less running your little mouth like a little bitch, he says. As the fans chanted, little bitch, little bitch. Pretty much they spoke, Galloway talked about pretty much Maria then, and then they started, he says, and then they pretty much said little bitch to her then. But after that, Bennett said, it's a charity. How you even got a rematch with Kurt Angle? He says, I should be wrestling him. He is just a charity, he says. And pretty much Bennett told him that Galloway to go get Dixie for him. That's pretty much Drew Galloway looked at Bennett and then punched him in the face, knocking him down. And they played multiple clips of Kurt Angle in his debut match in TNA, which is, I believe, 06 when he was wrestling Samoa Joe. Kurt Angle, or who else? Winning the King of the Mountain match back at Slammiversary in 07. He was talking to the Wolves in the back, talking about he was teaching the ankle lock since, Ken Shamrock can't ankle lock down to him. As Gail Kim did when against Jade for the TNA Knockouts Championship, which was a good match. I'll say that Gail Kim retained with like a last minute roll up. I wasn't a fan of the finish. It was a good match, but I wasn't that big a fan of finish and everything, but TNA needs a top heel in the knockouts right now. It's a shame that Awesome Kong had to go from, stupid stuff from Reby Hardy, which was retarded, and I don't think she should have been let go, but it's kind of like whatever. Matt Hardy had an interview, says, a travesty that I must face EC3 again. I have beaten EC3, and I will beat him next week live in the Impact Zone. By the way, the show, Impact, will be live next week on Tuesday in the Impact Zone when they return there for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, because he doesn't even know why he has to get another match against him. The Wolves, when he needs beer money for a TNA World Heavyweight Championships, as pretty much was probably one of the best matches out of the night, with the Beer Money picking up the win with the DWI. Unfortunately, Davey Richards suffered a torn ACL and will be gone for a very long time. And I think Austin Aries was right before he left this company. The TNA Tag Team titles are cursed because it looks like everybody that gets them gets some type of freak accident injury, and then they have to relinquish the titles to somebody else. But the Wolves won. The Beer Money won. And I don't know when we'll be seeing Davey Richards again. Maybe, hopefully, Eddie Edwards can put on a solo act right now and make this work while Richards is gone with a torn ACL. Backstage, pretty much Mike Bennett told him, like, everything in life happens for a reason, Kurt. He says, you're lucky in that wrestling because you need the wrestling. You blew that chance, he says. And he said, and pretty much, if you ever get an itch and you're ready to scratch, I'll be right here. Kurt, he says, I'll be right here in TNA. And pretty much Kurt Angle says, you better hope I never come back because it's going to get damn real, he says. Greedo was talking on the mic to what happened while he was fired in a Feast of Fire and had a clip from his boy Kenny, but he never got the clip on. Eli Drake and Jesse Goddard came out then. Pretty much said, you come out here begging for your job back. That's a fact that you're just pathetic, he says. And they were going to get rid of him. They started beating up Grado. Grado then, pretty much, Mahabali Shahira came out, but he didn't do that much. He got knocked out then. Pretty much, Grado ducked as Eli Drake hit Jesse got the briefcase and ran away then. So there wasn't much to say that. Multiple video packages from fans thanking Kurt Angle for his TNA career and everything in wrestling. Pretty much in wrestling, think of his career and hope he moves on to something better next. Josh Matthews pretty much gave interest. Well, let's talk about both Bobby Lashley and Kurt Angle's stats from Bobby Lashley having 14-2 MMA record in UFC. Kurt Angle multiple-time world champion. As pretty much this was the final TNA match of Kurt Angle. Pretty much was probably a great match, by the way. Very great match, I'll say that. Really great match between Angle and Lashley. Pretty much Lashley came to win, and I guess Kurt Angle put over Lashley right there then. So it was a great send-off match. Pretty much then they hugged, but then Bobby Lashley took out Kurt Angle, hit him with like almost a forced spear then. Galloway tried to come out and says, what the hell was that? And stuff, but he speared Galloway. Eddie Edwards tried to come out. He got speared. EC3's music then played as he came out to look at what happened, pretty much staring down with Bobby Lashley, but Bobby Lashley got out of the ring, and pretty much EC3 checked on Kurt Angle then, and the show ended from there. So if that was the last time we saw Kurt Angle, hey, thank you, Kurt Angle, for all you've done with TNA. Everyone's going on this whole thank you, Kurt Angle thing. Hey, he had a great career in TNA, he's been there longer than WWE. For 10 years he's been over there, so it was a good send-off, and this, puts over Lashley. He's a big heel, taking out half the top main roster, and I guess they're going to wait for a while till if EC3 gets his hands on him in that. But, I gotta say, if Kurt Angle does return back to the WWE, I don't think it'll be till anytime soon. I think it'll be next year, or maybe, maybe he'll come back to TNA, and, he'll keep doing that. Because I think Kurt Angle has stated this before, he wanted to take a year off from wrestling, and, he has focus on his family again. But, hey, he's put in a long work in TNA for what he's done for this company, for being there for 10 years, ever since he debuted, I believe, 06, I believe, or, 2006, when Kurt Angle came into TNA. And he's battled pretty much the best of the best in this company. Sting, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, EC3, Lashley, Christian, Jeff Jarrett, Jeff Hardy, I guess you want to say Christopher Daniels. Multiple names go down the list. Steiner, everybody. Multiple wrestlers go down the list of Kurt Angle was faced in TNA Impact Wrestling, and he's put on a lot of hella great matches for people over the years up there. So, it's like thank you, Kurt Angle, for what you've done in TNA Impact Wrestling. Hopefully he'll be back one day. We don't know when, probably a year from now, maybe sooner, I don't know. But if this is Kurt Angle's last TNA match, hey, he had a hell of a career in this company. I'll give him that. And maybe he'll be back one day, or he'll go to the WWE. But we'll just have to wait and see where Kurt Angle's next move is, if he comes back to Impact or not. But I'm out of here. I hope you enjoyed this TNA Impact Wrestling review. I'm out. Peace.